All right, so I have a little time waiting on my son to get home from school, but also about to go training. But yeah, let's hit more on what we've been talking about. But in particular, I want to go deeper into what I was saying about the reach of the brands and in the circles that they go to in order for their marketing to get basically exchange bottles and product for marketing. So what ends up happening and what I really see, sorry, the bus is right there. What I'm really seeing in terms of why these brands that everyone that wants to have, want to be able to buy them in store and everything, why you're not able to see them in stores, but why you'll see like a brand that takes a different, wider net approach, and in particular when it comes to working with different types of influencers, reaching different influencer markets, and diversifying their marketing when it comes to putting money into putting products behind it as well. A lot of them, I mean, that's what it is. They're diversifying who they reach. They're not just going for this one particular market and just sending it out to a ton of people within that one particular market. Let's hit on the tequila market when it comes to their marketing. A lot of these new brands marketing approaches that you're seeing, a lot of them are just sending bottles out to the same circle of influencers that reach the same buying base. And when they reach that same buying base, well, now you're just hitting the same pockets and you're just giving out a barrel to basically there's just one huge group of people that all are going to buy the bottle anyway if you just give it out to one or two of them. You know what I mean? So what ends up happening is the bottles end up sitting on the shelf. You don't get to go through the product as much as you want in order to create the revenue that you want within the time frame that you want to have that revenue in order to be able to build up that marketing budget, because you're only listening to this one segment you're only hitting this one segment of consumers that you could have hit with 3 bottles sent out, and then you ignore all these other segments of consumers that you can reach with the same amount of bottles, because you have these marketing avenues or these so-called consultants that are only going to tell you to send the bottles to the same people. They're only going to tell their brands to send the bottles to the same people, and then you end up following up short. You end up having to put down celebrities and put down marketing dollars and everything in order to try to take on an approach to your brand, which is not going to work. Because let's be honest, a lot of these brands are not going to pick up a lot of these distributors are not going to pick up a brand that is going to sit here and put down other different brands they may want to work with, or that do have the money in order to get them their profit margin that they want to make. And you have some brands that want to be with these, with Southern or Breakthrough or one of these big distributors that have distribution all throughout the nation. But then it's that brand that's putting down, these big brands that are the money makers for these distributors. So then they have to come up with a decision of, well, do I piss off the people that are, bringing me in my revenue? Do I piss off the 818? Do I piss off the Don Julio? Do I piss off the Patron, the people that are, the brands that are making the ton of money that this brand will, at this point has no chance of bringing in, for the sake of, the influencer marketing, the influencer buying market being happy with these bottles being available on the shelves. It's not going to happen. Or it's damn near impossible to, for that to happen. So, when it comes to brands, the spirit of brands and everything, you really have to think deeper into what markets you hit, who you talk to, and what you talk about, what brands in particular that you talk about, and the connections that brand have to other, other the other side, the business side of all of these, of this process, and the distribution, the marketing, the events. You have to look at all that aspect before you go and take this approach because someone told you to, just say, someone told you that it's popular to say on social media, skip all celebrity-owned tequila, skip all celebrity-owned whiskeys, cognacs, and brands in general. It's or skip these big brands because of this. You got to think about that if you really want to have success, instead of just having, making a little bit of a profit off of small batches that you produce. I mean, that's the thing. That's the game. It has to be considered. You have to think those 20 steps ahead.